Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Crafting in a Small Space. And today we are in small space number 1, my car. I am Miranda. I do crafty things. And today, my face feels swollen again. Today I am going to show you the progress ever so slightly. So I'm making these squares as a blanket. They do flatten out. I just have had them crinkled in my bag. Of course, everybody pulls up when I'm doing this. So here's the purples. And the purples colorway is, this is the Blossom, Karen Blossom cakes. But this color is actually called Blossom, which it fits. It looks like irises. And then there is this one. It's pinks and yellows and a little bit of kind of an orangey color. This one's my favorite. It's blue and green, and there is a slight, like the lime color almost tries to be a yellow, but it's not. But there is yellow in that one. So there's every color in the things that I've chose. But I think this one is my favorite, probably. I don't know. This is the rough draft before I reduce the stitches. So I have only the 3 colors made up. So the amount of squares I have is this much, because you know that I'm always being pulled in a million directions. The green is called Tide Pool. And the pinks and yellows is, I think this is Tropical Blooms. Oh, there's my crochet hook. Shit. Okay. And so I need to make 77 squares in order for this to be a twin size. And so having the 3 colors repeat itself so much, I didn't think that would be good. So I bought some blues again. I bought 2 of these. There's 2 skeins of everything. And I mean, I don't know how much is supposed to make a blanket. I just know that each of my squares is 8 by 8. And twin size is 70 by 90. So that's 7 by 11. So, I mean, I rounded down, obviously. I'm not going to make a half of one. So 7 by 11. And so I added this color to it. So I think that it will be beautiful. The other color that I'm going to add that I don't have yet, that the craft store says they have in stock, is this color called Peony. And it's like oranges and possibly a little pink. The colors of these things don't really look like they do online. So, yeah. And I'm strange. Instead of just whipping through this ball or this cake and making as many squares out of this as I can, and then making as many squares as this out of as I can, and all the other colors, I will do one color of each thing and rotate so that it kind of feels like a new project to keep it, fresh for myself. Oh, there you are, you little hooky. And then, yeah, so I have this many squares. This one needs to be ripped out and reworked because you know how back in the day, your grandma or your mom even, like my ex-mother-in-law, she used to have cookbooks, but in the margins and crossed out was like all of her corrections of how to make the recipe better. She used to have that really cool Betty Crocker cookbook. And so she would, these are soft. She would, in the margins, write her corrections. And the pattern for this says that you're supposed to chain 3 in the corner, and that seemed kind of excessive. And then where you crochet the chains underneath these stitches is 5. And it just seemed like it was just always going like that. And I'm like, that seems kind of weird. So I went down a crochet hook from what it said, and then I went down again. So I'm currently, it recommends on the yarn that you use a 5mm H. That's weird. I think I did it wrong. I think I followed the, oh, that's why. Because when I was making the shawl, using the appropriate hook size was too small and it made it really tight. But with these stitches, they're so loose that I was like, okay, J hook, because that's what worked with the last one. And then I reduced it by a half and I was like, that's still too big. When I was doing this one, it was still too big. So I reduced it down to 5. But the thing is the original recommendation for the yarn itself, not the pattern on the front of this thing, is a 5. So I'm like, why would anybody suggest you use a J with this? Because I was like, but for some reason a J needed to be used. And I was like, oh, it's because that, I just now came to that realization right in front of you. So that is, okay. So it says to use a 5 for the yarn, which it is working quite nicely. But if you want drape, go up a half a size. If you're doing that shawl that I did, the Ultimate Sacrifice one, a 6 worked the best. Dork, I'm such a dingling. Anyway, so I reduced this by 1 and this by 1, and then I went down to the appropriate hook size for the yarn. And then there will be 5 colors instead of just these 3. And I like these 3 by themselves because to me this looks like a garden, but it's really gonna not look as good trying to repeat all of this over and over and over, all these squares over and over and over, even though every time you crochet a square, the colors change and shift and they're not exactly the same. I feel like it's not gonna lend itself well. Yeah, I probably should have just stuck with the 3 colors, but now I have the blue, so whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you before everything. So see you later.